What's going on, everybody? I'm Tank, and this is another episode of Roadie Reactions.
Get with this.
When I started my YouTube journey a few months ago, I was just a regular, average YouTube user. I just found videos that looked entertaining, would watch them for a bit, scroll through, and just keep clicking on stuff just to kill time. There were very few channels that me and the rest of my crew guys on tour would actually watch regularly, and most of it was music related. And one of those pages was a guy by the name of Nik Nocturnal. And if you're not familiar with Nick, he's a guitarist and an instrumentalist from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, that has a channel where he does covers, original material, reactions, and a bunch of other music and guitar related stuff. It's awesome. And recently, Nick reached out to me on Instagram just to drop a message and introduce himself and say hi. And I thought that was super kind. And if I'm being honest, that hasn't happened much since I've done this. There's only a couple people off the top of my head I can think of that have reached out to me to introduce themselves. One was Nick, and the other was my now good friend, Chase Carnison, who reached out pretty much right when I started. And if I'm being really honest, I've actually sent a lot of emails and messages to other YouTubers just to introduce myself. I wasn't saying like, hey, let's collab, or hey, can you give me a shout out? Just, hey, I'm Tank, I'm new to the YouTube game, just wanted to say hi and introduce myself. And I got virtually no replies. I even got one reply that said, your channel is too small to work with. So I don't know what we're gonna do with that information, but this game is not as tight-knit and friendly as you would think it would be. But back to Nick. Nick's been working on a music project recently called Termina that he is doing with Andy Cizek, who's the vocalist notably from Monuments. They have a brand new music video they just released, and I want to check it out. So I will link this video in the description below. Today, for the very first time, I am listening to Termina with the music video for their song Desolate Specter. Let's go! Oh! Oh, Genty is. So right off the bat, first gut impression, I love this sound. Those of you that follow along with this channel know, like, I love stuff like this. It's got a great groove. It's heavy as shit. I love the vocals. Let's see. I think I read, so Andy obviously is doing the vocals and did all the lyrics, and if I'm not mistaken, along with playing guitar, Nick did all the instrumentals for this. I don't know if Nick plays drums. I would assume that this is probably programmed, which there's no problem with that. I think there's a lot more albums out right now than people think that have programmed drums in them. It's easier to do, and with technology now, it sounds awesome. I mean, that's the same as we've talked about with amp profilers. The technology is so good now that you honestly can't really tell the difference unless you have that good of an ear. Half the time, I can't tell the difference whether it's a real amp or an amp profiler. So, sounds great so far. Really quick, that chord progression with that last guitar part was super awesome. It's like, it's reminding me of something and I can't put my finger on it, but super sick. I dig it. Let's keep going. Hold on. I need to go back into that. That changed real fast. Oh, there's that riff again. I'm surprised we haven't seen any other black metal bands in the background also filming their music videos in the woods. Video looks cool, man, especially for just the two guys, and I'm assuming one guy that did the filming and the editing. Super cool, man. Great production for something like this. Let's see, what do we want to talk about? Let's talk about Nick's gear. So I gotta really attribute all of this to recently doing the Ice 9 Kills video. I can spot out an Ernie Ball Music Man guitar, but I didn't know a ton about them until recently. The guitar player for Ice 9 Kills was using one, and I did a lot of reading afterwards. 99.9% sure Nick's playing the Music Man John Petrucci 7-string in that sexy stealth black. Not sure what kind of pickups are in there. Oh man, I feel like I should know if it's a John Petrucci signature, but I don't. Funny thing about Nick, the first time I ever saw his channel, I had to do a double take because there is another guitar player that I know that is also from the Toronto area that also loves stuff like this, even though he doesn't play for a band like this, but it's the guitar player for Thomas Rhett, Nathan. Thomas Rhett is a country artist from Nashville, if you're not familiar. I thought that these two could look like brothers, and I almost texted Nathan one day and was like, do you have a YouTube channel? And then later found out it was Nik Nocturnal, but I'm digging this, man. Honestly, I've seen a lot of Nick's guitar work, but I haven't heard a lot of his original stuff, and this is really good. Really impressed. Dude, the way some of Andy's vocals are layered in this sounds brutal. Is that it already? That was... I could have done double the amount of that. All right. Let's go talk about it. Oh, it's Chase. Hi, Chase. I could have easily listened to a track that was double the amount of that time because I was so into that sound, but not gonna lie, that was kind of a breath of fresh air because I've done 2 reactions in like the last 3 days that were both 13, 14-minute videos. So this was really good to just sit back and have a really, really heavy, powerful song for a few minutes and then just get to sit back and talk about it. So, man, I have not listened to Nick's original stuff that much on his page. And this was the first time I ever heard like something like this. And it was great, man. That sound, right up my alley. Super heavy, had that gent element to it that I know Nick's always doing and joking about on his channel. And like, man, I really liked it. I really did. I'm really, really impressed, and I'm not terribly familiar with Andy, with Monuments or his other bands, and I've heard some of his vocals before, but not like that, man. Like, his growls and screams and the way they were layered on top of each other in that video, it sounded killer, man. Now I want to go check out all his other stuff too, but that was super cool, man. I'm glad I checked that out. This is going to be something that I would probably definitely be listening to at home, in the car, at the gym, and even back when we get on tour. I'll probably crank this in my Guitar World when I'm working on other guitars and enjoy the hell out of it. So I'm going to be checking out more from these guys because this is a really cool project, and I personally really liked it because that sound is what I love in heavy music. So good job, guys. Super impressed. Absolutely loved it. I'll put some links below if you want to see where you can download this or stream it or anything like that. And if this is your first time here, feel free to click subscribe because I release new videos almost every day of the week. If you turn the alerts on, you'll be notified the second new stuff comes out. If you liked this video, I'd greatly appreciate it if you gave it a like. If you disliked it, no big deal, man. There's a dislike button. Click it, move on. I'm also on a ton of different social media. I even have a Discord channel that I share with my buddy Chase Carnison, and I will link that in the description below. My handle on everything social media related is @TankTheTech. My voice just cracked. Thank you so much for watching once again. I will be back very soon with another episode of Roadie Reactions.